Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included here in our One Duplicant challenge. I'm back from my vacation so we can dive back into the episode. Haven't played the game in a week, so I'm really pumped for it. In the previous episodes we tamed both of the copper volcanoes, they should be functional, and then we also built the metal refinery setup here in the last episode. Now everything is more or less to my satisfaction. The only thing that doesn't work is the conveyor meter, as the items on the rails do not tend to merge. So even if I stop the items here at the conveyor meter, they are not going to merge and the problem is not going to be fixed. That means that is going on my to fix list, that I will have to remove these conveyor meters again and find a different solution. Anyways, in the spirit of slowly but surely making our storage system and distribution system, I would like to maybe first sort out the liquids and decide what we're gonna do with those. Now I figured we could go ahead and add a whole bunch of reservoirs here on the sides. I might just go ahead and remove this biome here. So we'll have the biggest tank reserved for fresh water, clean water that we can go ahead and use for whatever purpose. And I guess next to it we could have a whole bunch of other liquids. We do not want to store as much polluted water, for instance, as normal water, but maybe just a little bit so we have access to everything. Would not be the worst of ideas. So I think what I'm gonna do is start with a whole bunch of insulated tiles, and we're just gonna plan this out a little bit. For now, I do not really know about the dimensions of this contraption. What I probably want to see is, for me, a way to actually go above the contraption and then down into the individual chambers. Also, considering this is gonna be an extremely large storage, we might want to make sure that we use a bunch of airflow tiles. Yeah, we should probably add that all the way around. So if I just go ahead and fill this up, I wonder, should we add some liquid reservoirs as well? I mean, we could store more water and it would make sense overall. So let's say this is gonna be our access point right over here. We then add some mesh tiles on the left and right side in order to add liquid reservoirs. And this way we can not only store the water inside of the contraption itself, but an additional 5 tons in each liquid reservoir. So this would just go like that and all the way down. Yeah, maybe this is a little too exaggerated. Another question we have to think about is accessibility. So can I just easily go over there and do some maintenance work, and can we maybe even exchange the gases present? Maybe let's not build this all the way down to the bottom. We can just think about how much water we generally want to keep stored. And then we also might be willing to add an infinite storage in order to keep everything extra. We'll have to think about that for a little while. For now, I'm just gonna keep on multiplying what we have going on here, and maybe we should only build every second one here. Let me think. Yeah, I guess it might be better to first add the insulated layer, and afterwards we're gonna take care of the airflow tiles. Of course, now that we know a little bit about what materials we're gonna require, I'm gonna bring them over here. For instance, we're gonna need plenty of mafic rock. What other rock am I using? Iron ore. So bring me some iron ore as well. And I guess copper ore wouldn't be the worst of ideas either. So I'm gonna put all of these to priority 6. So I'm gonna fill these up, but that is gonna help me tremendously building this much faster. Wonderful, there it is, my storage bins have been filled up and now I can go to town just building these, and I don't even mind that I'm being inefficient just building one tile because we have those materials nearby. And of course I'm also using half a cycle doing that, but overall for me as an observer it is much less annoying to waste the time bringing materials in large quantities rather than just commuting all over the world in order to build piece by piece. But if I wanted to fix this behavior, all I have to do is move my duplicant, and now he's going to build 2 tiles in a row, just like that, because the second tile, this always has to be built first, but sometimes they switch order, and now I'm building this tile first, which means the next time I'm only gonna build this tile. Well, you get the basic gist. You know what, I'm gonna leave the top portion free, just in case I want to do something else with it, such as a transit tube access point or so. The question is, how are we gonna do it with the various other liquids? Like, I do not want the same amount of storage for all the other liquids as mentioned, But then again, if we don't want to go ahead and mix everything together, we'll have to get a little bit creative if we want to stack these liquids on top of each other. Say I have another liquid right there. This would also be connected with a ladder. And then maybe this additional liquid will only have 4 reservoirs. I'm not so convinced anymore. Maybe we'll keep the upper portion here. And then at the very bottom, we'll also add a pitcher pump. Maybe like so. This goes down extremely far. What if we added the pitcher pump instead of this liquid reservoir? Yeah, we could have that bad boy right there. And this would also allow us to add 2 pumps if we wanted to. But I guess 1 pump for the additional liquids is gonna be enough. That would mean right here comes the airflow tiles. This would be going all the way down. This would be going up. Yeah, I guess that would actually be fine. What if we had a connection right here? So we only allowed the liquid to come up to this point, the top reservoirs, and then we use that layer to go back and forth between all the modules. That might actually be more elegant than going in through the top. So instead we would be opening up the sides coming from this direction. I don't really know. I'm not yet convinced. That would probably mean I want to push everything a little further up. So instead of this being the corridor, I want this upstairs to be the corridor. You know, I just noticed this actually is absolutely the same. Yeah, we can have it all the way up to the top. What am I thinking? Yeah, I actually like this idea. This is exactly what we're gonna do now. So I'm just gonna let my duplicant build for a little while and we'll see where we're going with this. Said and done, we're pretty much done with the skeleton. I decided to only store 2 or 3 additional liquids, namely polluted water that we might be able to use in certain circumstances, and then I'm also gonna store a little bit of oil. As for the petroleum, we're gonna be storing that directly in the petroleum generator that, let me see, where is this gonna be? Probably together with the cobalt volcano, right? This is coming out at 2000 degrees, should be enough in order to produce a little bit of petroleum. But then again, it would be great to have access to the petroleum here as well. So maybe I'm just gonna add an additional layer, but more importantly right now we need power and pipes. I'm already building the power cable that currently is stretching along the right side of the base. It is also now connecting to this contraption. So in the future, this is going to be providing power to the main line. We can then just take that wire and bring it all the way along here and down. Now let's see, is this a good idea or should we just use a transformer? Yeah, honestly, the large power transformer might be the easier solution. I think I might go ahead and install that instead. Conductive wire. Should we go? Yeah, let's go with iron. And let me see. We want to bring this down through the ladder shaft, probably. So it's going to go down all the way here, providing power to these pumps. And it's going to be going down here. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. Let's go with that. Inside the contraption itself, I don't think we're actually going to be needing insulated pipes, so I'm just going to go with normal granite pipes, or maybe we could even use the sandstone for that. But essentially what I would like to see is these as our 2 outputs, like so. So that is going to be our 2 lines main output, and for now I think 2 pipes worth full of water output should be enough for whatever contraption I'm building. Now the pumps themselves are gonna deliver the water to each reservoir. So I'm gonna be doing it like so, and I'm gonna be treating this individually. Or maybe we should equalize the pipes, so no matter which pump is pumping, even if I don't have that much liquid, both of the liquid reservoirs are gonna be filled up equally. You know, I guess we'll see whether or not that is going to be necessary. All I know that is going to be necessary is we do want to daisy chain all of these liquid reservoirs until the very end, which is right here. And this one is then going to be our output. And we're going to be doing the same thing here as well. So that's going to be daisy chained all the way up. And we can use the output of the last reservoir as our output for the entirety of the contraption. That also means if we don't use up the 10 kilograms of water per second we're getting, these pumps are not going to be active all the time, but we will still be having the 10 kilograms output right there. As for the other liquids, just 1 output is going to be enough, so I'm going to be daisy chaining them like so, and this here is then going to be my final output. We're going to be doing the same thing here. You go up, you go over. Did I do it like that? Yes, and then up, and that would be our output. Now, what else do we have to take into consideration? We got the power, we got the outputs, we got the pumps in place. There is a liquid vent missing, of course. So we might want to go ahead and remove this top ladder portion. Yeah, just that one. And that would be our output. We would have to import the liquid from somewhere. Let me actually go ahead and reroute this slightly. I want this to go up so I can actually utilize this space. And that, for instance, means my water would be coming in from this side. It would then travel all the way down into the spot where we drop it into the contraption. And then my next liquid would be the polluted oxygen that I'm gonna drop exactly here. Now, let me see. Yeah, we'll have to reroute this. You know, I have to be a little bit careful about my outputs, otherwise I'm not gonna go where I need to. Let's reroute this above here. So instead of this going like so, it's gonna go above, and this is gonna allow me to add a bridge. So if I come down here, in order to fill this up, I would have my bridge like so, and then I can still dump the liquid right there. Next up, we have some oil incoming. I could go ahead and hop over the input of the liquid reservoir, and then as of this point, we just move straight down. Yeah, we can hop over here as well. And if I'm not mistaken, that would then be the drop-off point for my oil, right? Let's say in the future, we're gonna add 2 more storages, one maybe for the supercoolant and one for the petroleum. So I would suggest petroleum is gonna come along this way, and then this would be the supercoolant. Oh my gosh, this is way too many pipes. Maybe it would be a better idea to extract all of these at the bottom. So instead of bringing them up, we could go ahead and lead a pipe all the way down, like so. So this is gonna be our output. Add a little bridge here, that should be fine. And then we can go out here, and that will be our second water output. Same thing here, we can move down here for, what was that again? That was the oil, right? So this is our oil output, and then we can go straight down here, and that would then be our polluted water output. Then we'll also have some petroleum and supercoolant here, probably. Yeah, I guess let's not waste too much time, and we're gonna also build the last contraption here. Let me see, I don't wanna mess this up. That will go right there, together with a bunch of liquid reservoirs, and then let me see, plastic ladder going all the way down. Add 3 reservoirs, including a pitcher pump right there, and a normal pump at the bottom. Now, how much is this gonna cost me in terms of power? 240 each pump. That's 2 for 6 pumps in total, and that means I'm well within the 2K the cable provides. Let's do the piping immediately, so I don't mess up. This goes up, and that would be my output, right? Yeah, the top portion just goes straight down. The supercoolant would be provided right there, so we hop over. Give me that bridge, please. Thank you. We hop over here into the liquid vent. Let's actually go ahead and set these up before I forget about them. Gonna be needing that extra power cable to power up the pumps. The next one would be right there. Yeah, let's go ahead and build the lower portion as well. This contraption needs to be finished ASAP, and I guess we can go ahead and remove this now. We don't necessarily need to preserve all the ice there. More piping, that should be the last chamber for the time being. But we can still add 2 more, I guess, if we are interested in storing more liquids. But it's going to be a little bit more complex with the piping. So far, I'm pretty happy. We have water, polluted water, oil, petroleum, and supercoolant. I think this is going to be a pretty good start, to be honest. Alrighty, so far so good. It is a couple of cycles later, and it seems like I finished all the building. Now, there's still a little bit to build for the power cable, but that will be done in the next cycle. So far, I'm pretty happy how this turned out. I will add a couple more of these chambers, probably 2 more, and then that's gonna be enough because of the in and outputs. But look at that, it is actually pretty nifty. I also made sure that outside of the contraptions where they are being stored, we always have insulated pipes, and inside of the contraption we have the normal pipes. So in the example of the water, it's coming in with insulated pipes. Inside it's all gonna be normal pipes, and then as soon as we exit the contraption, it's gonna be insulated pipes again. And this way we can see which pipes belong to which contraption a little bit easier. Like this one here is coming from the future supercoolant or petroleum or whatever we're gonna have here. And all we have to do is choose the correct pipe to input it into the storage, and then right here it's going to be extracted, one water pipe going to the left and one water pipe going to the right that we can distribute however we like. And that is going to be pretty much it. Are we done here with the cabling? No, not at all. I chose to do some cooking instead. That's fine. We can always make use of the additional berry sludge. For the next episode, we'll have to come up with a contraption that is gonna bring the water to the temperature and the state I want it. For instance, we could say germless and 25 degrees, we wanna store it in here. And we're gonna do the same thing with each individual liquid. I'm probably gonna go with 25 degrees across the board. Brine and salt water are gonna be automatically converted to water, and the polluted water are only gonna convert to normal water if we have too much of it. But yeah, I feel like this is pretty organized right here, and we have very nifty out and inputs that we can route wherever we like. So with that out of the way, let's wrap it up for today's episode, and the next time we're going to be thinking about how to treat the liquids and what to do with the excess. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you feel like subscribing today, that would be a great opportunity. It's been dramatically going downhill in terms of subscribers, and I do happen to know that a lot of you aren't subscribed. No pressure, of course, but Nathan right here would be very happy. Thank you so much for everything. Have a great time, and hopefully I'm going to catch you in the next video. Bye bye.